Good morning, dear students. My name is Polish বিশ্বাস, Assistant Professor, JS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering. And today, discuss according to this the causes of failure, and this is under the subject of quality and reliability engineering, and this is the lecture number 33. The failure causes. The failure causes are required. That means the different type of defects is considered according to what the failure causes when you are to produce a new product, new objects and the new products. Then this will be considered according to the few causes will be there. That like the different defects is comes, and this is called the causes failure causes are basically defects in design, process quality, or part applications which are the underlying causes of a failure or which initiates a process which leads to failure. That where the failure depends on the user of the products or process is considered the failures. That like this will be depends on the user product. Which type of product is used in the some customers, then this will be that like what the human error must be considered according to the failure of causes. And basically the failure is considered, that means the when you have to produce a new type of products and also this product is the launch to this markets, but you can consider after consideration after launching markets, then you can see the different type of operating system is that the defects will be comes, and also during to this type of defects the why this will be causes the where is which is the region that this will be fail of this the concentration that leaks that this will be comes to the failure of causes is comes the that like your the human error must be considered according to this the causes of failures. And another things a part failures mode is the way in which a components failed functionally on the component levels also is considered according to your the components fail functionality. And another things often a part the part has only a few failure modes. The often a part has only a few failure modes will be considered according to this. The for example, a really may fail too often or close contacts on demands is considered according to this. The this type of failure is comes. The failure mechanisms that causes this. Can be of many different kinds, and often multiple factors play a role at the same time is considered the failure causes. Basically there are different type of factors is dependence. There's few cases we can see that like your the time is the dependence on these factors, and few cases we can see the hurry of that like the few short times we have to produce a new the products, and also this will be introduced to this the customers, then this will be is the one type of factor is arise. And a few cases you can see the your now designer is not will be given this the as a proper design, and also this are the production engineers not you satisfied this design, and also this is the not or properly. And sometimes the human and like the workers will be considered some error, and also the some equipment or this the machines also given some mechanisms that like your the is error will become that like your the production error is or this type of error is considered according to this the failure causes. And any successful person will honestly admit failure happens, that like your the failure happens, and where we have all had or failed share of it, that like your the you have to fail or share the how you have to before success how you have to different type of failures will be comes in your life, and then you have to share to your this failures procedures, then this will be considered according to. But from each failure we learn two equally valuable lesson. That means the suppose the one failure is occurred in your life, then you have to learn some things according to during to this the failures. And another things you always avoid the this type of things when you have to consider for this the new type of productions, and also the new business you have to starting, then you have to avoid always the this type of cases. And for this is the in lessons we will be read from this type of failures on that there was at least one reason we failed. That at least one reason we failed will be considered, and two that we can rebound from that failures will be considered. Here are the most common failure causing problems, and their solutions is comes like the lack of pre-resistance also is here according to the lack of resistance. Or the pre-resistance is considered according to their the solutions will be considered. Which type of pre-resistance will be required. Just like you have to consider according to these their solutions. Lack of convictions, lack of convictions, and also the rationalization is comes from this the different type of failures. Then we have to causing problems, and their solutions will be required. And another, the dismissal of post mistake of dismissal of past mistakes. And when you have to record for this the solution, then you have to always remember that your past mistakes is not happened again, and not happened again. Then this will be consideration according to this current situations. Just like the dismissal of this the past mistakes always considered according to the solution of this the of the failures. And another things, the lack of discipline. And always you have to consider the always you have to consider that during to your the discipline is not maintained properly according to your the production is produced during to this company. Then you have to during to these systems here, failures will becomes on this the discipline. You can see the each and every industry have some failure causes which considers considering according to the maintain proper disciplines. And for this you have to always maintain to your discipline. And also a lack of discipline recovers during to your the system is generated, and also the new products will be produced during to this the next conditions. Then you have to always discipline is maintained, and also your the recovery or the lack of discipline. And the poor self esteem also is the maintained. And also this like this self esteem also always you have to recover this. And fatalistic attitudes also, the few cases we can see that like your the this is the don't care condition. And also you have to happen that this is the beginning of this. And also this will be difficulties arise, but few days later this will be recovery on this system. But this is the considered according to the fatalistic attitudes. But always you have this fatalistic attitude is the goes to the back in our any type of system, just like your the progress and also growth and also the new productions. Always you have to consider that you have to first starting, and again you have to recover it. But you have the loss is always loss, and you have the initial phase you have to losses. And also this is considered according to your the fatalistic attitude always required for this the recoveries, and according to the solution is here. And the lack of persistence, the more people fail not because they lack knowledge or talent, but because they just quit here. And another things, it's important to remember two words, that's like the persistence and resistance. The persistence persist in what must be done, and resist what not be not to be done. This will be considered the persist is the in what must be done, and resist what not to be done. This will be considered according to the lack of persistence. And another things, that try new approaches. The persistence is important, but repeating the same actions over and over again will be considered. The hoping that this time you will succeed, probably you want get you any closures to your objectives is here. And look at your previous unsuccessful efforts, and decides what to change is required. And keep making adjustments and meet closures. Basically keep making adjustments and meet closures corrections using your experience as a guides is considered accordingly. That likes the adjustments is the and mid course corrections also will be required during to your the experience and as guides. And the lack of convictions is the people would lack convictions take the middle of the roads. But what happens in the middle of the roads, you get run over. Like your run is over, you have to consider the when your run is over, then you have to not take according to your this the middle of this road. But what is the happen of this the middle, this is the not will be think about this. And for this is the during to this condition you have to consider the lack of convictions. The people without convictions go along to get along because they lack confidence, and course also will be here. Um, uh, Basically this type of the conditions is come the each and every people when they thinking that when you have to go to is the long time or the long distance, then he will be considered according to this the one person is the essential with his or her to this the movement or the convictions of these considerations. But these things they confirms in order to get accepted, even when they know that what they are doing is wrong or not. And during two things, suppose each and every people when you have to start in the new business, then this will be given an opinion for his senior most people in your house, that like your the father mother, and your this few cases you will be given some advice to your the teacher, and this will be considered the because of improvements is the growing your knowledge as like as the confidence is the build up on these situations. And that means they conform in order to get the accepted even when they know that what they are doing is wrong, and decide what is important to you. If sometimes something is wrong doing, it's worth doing right, and doing well is considered according to this. And let your passion show even in mundane task also here. It's okay to collaborate and cooperate for success, but it not okay to compromise your value efforts is the considered. Few cases you will be passion will be given that like your the this is the time is given to you this work, but you have to not compromise that like your job is not will be satisfied according to this system. Then this will be not will be compromised to this the another person because of this the cooperated for your success, but it not okay as a compromise your value. It's okay. And another things is kind here. This will be the rationalizations is here. Winners might analyze this, but they never rationalize. That means you can see the from beginning to your life, that you in your school life, that you can see the few friends is the inside friends is in your inside or outside of your minds, that like the few friends not will be compromise your his or her times to your the examination times, that he will be always considered that he is the get the more marks and also the more success from this than another friend, just like he is not share your the top secrets top secret notes, and also the top secret times when he will be read properly, and also the he is the spend your times the which type of books will be required is learned, that like this is the not will be shared to this, because this is the never realizations, that like your this yeah, rationalizations. And another things, the loser rationalize and have a book full of exercise to tell you why they could not succeed is here, but like you this will be fully rationalized, and he will be spend times with your friends for this the friends problems, but not his problems. Then this will be considered according to the rationalizations. Since your perspective, don't think of every unsuccessful attempt as a failures, because the you have to consider sometimes we can see that like you're the failure people, you have to we consider the when you have to given a step for the forward steps, but this will be considered according to the unsuccessful, because each and every steps he will be taken for this the failure of his lives. Or he don't thinking about here like the of every unsuccessful attempt as a failures. Few people succeed at everything at the first times, and a few because people you can see that this will be succeed each and every times. You can see in your real life problems, and also your friends as like your relatives, and your different fellow also this will be given to this the success and the first attempt, but you cannot be given a success for this the first attempt. The more attempt also will be record your success in life. What this will be consideration is here, the most of us attain our goals only through the repeated efforts will be there, and do your best to learn everything you can about what happened and why is considered according to this rationalizations. And the dismissal of past mistake is kind of here. The some people live and learn. Now, some people live and learn also here, and the some only live is here. Basically, the weak cases, the few people says the not will be any type of acceptance also will be considered for your lives. But he is the always thinking the there is no problems in my life. That is the I am live on here. But some people is considered this is starting from your beginning ends. This is the each and every step you will be learn some things according to the your the life. And failures is a teacher if we have the right attitudes will be considered. Like the when suppose you have to fail in some things, then you have to consider that during to this failureness, and also you have to learn a new lessons only. And that means this will be considered the failure is the teacher. That is, it will be teach some things when you have to fail, then you have to make perfect during to this the next steps. For this kinds of consideration, the failure is a teacher if we have the right attitudes. And another things, the thing why is the people learn from their mistakes. People always learn from their mistakes, and also he will be go to this the for the steps that like your the mistake is overcome, and again the new correct steps will be now again learns. And the experience is the name they give to um, uh, sleep sleep ups. Basically, the experience is the always given the you have experiences come from this the different type of mistakes also. And another things the define the problem better, define the problem better, and again they analyze the situations, the what you want to achieve what your strategy is, why it did not works, are you really viewing the problems correctly. Basically, this will be better analyzations of the solutions that are what you want to assist, what your strategy, and sometimes you can see why it did not work. Are you really viewing the problem correctly? Another things, if you need money, you have more options than increasing revenue. You have need money, you have more options also will be than increasing your revenue. You could also could also cut expensive also. Again, your expensive also, but you can think your the expensive is cut, but this will be not the procedures you have to earn your money, because the you need money, but you have to want to earn the how you have to fulfill your the needs during to the earning of your money. Either you need money, you have the more options than increasing revenue. You could not also could also cut your expenses also. Also again, the think about what you're really trying to do. The what about you are really trying to do also is the considers according to this the dismissal past of this discipline. And another thing is the lack of discipline. Anyone who have has accomplished anything from the oil has never done it without discipline is there. Basically, few people we can see in our real life problems that like the in beginning of the schooling time, that like your the college lives, and he cannot be disciplined in your lives. For this, the is an every year he will be got some failures, and that's because the result will be not is the satisfactory levels will be considered. Then this will be comes from the lack of disciplines. And discipline takes self control. That like you have to always discipline, that like you have to control yourself. And each and every places that like the expenses, and the few cases you can see your the education lives, your the personal lives, the all things you have to control yourself. And also you have to sacrifice and avoiding distractions and temptations also will be here. It means staying focused, and always you have to focus for your job, that like your the during your the student lives, your the education focus also will be mentioned. And when you have to working life starts, then you have to always focus to your the job. And also you have to focus your job. Again, this will be focus to you to this your the senior, that like your the boss, and you have to improve your lives. Don't be perfectionist. You might have an idealized visions of what success will look and feel like. Although that can be motivational, it might not be realistic. Success needs at once wouldn't eliminating all your problems. Be clear on what will satisfy your objectives, and don't obsess about superficial details also will be considered here. And the poor self esteem is here. The poor self esteem is a lack of self respect and the self worth. And the few people who is considers that I have no value, that likes the there is a demotivates motivations is the always found from your life from this the beginning, that you're the parents, because you're the teachers, your friends, then this will be considered that like you're the I have not his respect enough, then this will be the self-worth will be consideration according to what the very difficulties or dangerous things will become here. And the people with low self-confidence are constantly trying to find themselves rather than creating the person they want to be. Basically, this will be trying find themselves rather than creating the person they want to be. And another things that don't label yourself here. You might have failed, but you are not a failures until you stop trying is here. And another things is here. Think of yourself as someone still striving towards a goal, and you will be better able to maintain your patience and preservations for the long haul also will be considered easier, because this league you have to consider the you will better able to maintain your patience and you have to consider it according to the preservations for your the long haul will be here. And fatalistic attitude is considered. A fatalistic attitude prevents the people from accepting responsibility for their positions in life. That they attitude attributes the success and failure to luck. And basically the attitude that like you're the success and also this is the failure you have to go comes from your the luck, but this will be not given to your the success, because the you have to always consider according to your the attitude, and also the fertility conditions will be there. And they resign themselves to their fate, resign themselves to their fate, and regardless of their efforts, that whatever has to happen will happen anyway is considered. And the look in the mirror the everyday and say I am in change, I am in charge. Basically this will be every day he will be saying the I am in charge, and like the I am considered the you have to I am doing something like that. That you might not have control over every phase of your life, but you have more control than you realize, and you are responsible for your own happiness and success is comes is there. And another things your attitudes attitudes determines your altitudes, your attitudes and also that determine your altitudes, and you can turn down and out into a into up, and at aim is here, the like is the fatalistic attitude will be comes here. And the failure scenario is comes the simple description of symptoms that many products user or process participants might use the term failure scenario. And the mechanisms refers to a rather complete descriptions including the preconditions and under which failure occurs, how the things was being used, the proximate and ultimate final or the final causes is known, and any subsidiary or resulting failures that result is considered. The term is part of the engineering's lexicon, and especially of engineers working to test and debug products or processes considered. And the carefully observing and describing failures conditions is here, identifying whether the failures are reproducible or the transients, and the hypothesizing and combinations of conditions and the sequence of events lead to failures is part of the process of fixing design flaws or improving the future erections also in the interactions is comes here. The mechanical failures. The some types of mechanical failures, the mechanisms are excessive deflections, the bucklings, ductile fracture, brittle fracture, impact trips, and relaxations, and thermal shocks where corrosions and also stress corrosions, cracking, and various types of fatigues is come during to your the mechanical failures. And during to this the mechanical failures, the this type of failure is come during to your the product is produced in your the production industry. Is produce a different type of fracture surface and other indicators near the fracture surface also. And the way the product is loaded and the loading history are also important factors which determine the outcomes is here. Over time, as more is understands about the failures, the failure causes evolves from the descriptions of symptoms and outcomes, that is effects, to a systematic and relatively abstract model of how, when, and why the failures come about. About that is causes. The more complex the product of situations, the more necessary a good understanding of its failure causes is the ensure its proper operations or repairs is comes here. And cascading failures for this for example as particularly complex failure causes and the ES causes and corner causes are situations in which the complex, unexpected, and difficult to debug problems often occurs is here. And another thing is the failure analysis. The failure analysis is the process of collecting and analyzing data to determine the causes of a failure, often with the goal of determining corrective actions or liabilities is here. The according to Bloss and the guitar machinery failures reveal a reaction chain of causes and effects, usually a deficiency commonly referred to as the symptom failures. Analysis can save money, lives, and resources if done correctly and acted upon is here. During to your the failures is analysis during to the different procedures according to the liability and how we have to defects will be here during to your the zero defects is come during to this the system is considers. And it is an important discipline in many branches of manufacturing industry such as the electronics industry, where it is a vital tools used in the development of new products and for the improvements of existing products is here. And the failure analysis process relies on collecting failed components for subsequent examples examinations of these causes or causes of failure using a wide array of methods, especially microscopy and spectroscopy will be considered according to this the failure analysis is comes. The non-destructive testing that like the NDT methods such as industrial computers, the topography scanning are valuable because they feel the products are unaffected by analysis. So inspections sometimes starts using these methods will be considered according to this the different testings will become just like your this the mechanical failures will be considered according to this the different type of industry will be found that like your the non-destructive testings are this is the comes from this the different type of crack will be identified during to this type of testings. Forensics investigation, that like your the forensic investigations into the failed process or product is the starting points of failure analysis. Such inquiry is conducted using the scientific analytical methods such as electrical and mechanical measurements or by analyzing failure data such as product rejects reports or examples of previous failures of the same kinds is find here. The methods of forensics engineering are especially valuable in tracking that and tracing products defects and flaws. The many includes the fatigue cracks, brittle cracks produced by stress, corrosions, crackings, or environmental stress crackings. For the example of this, the forensic investigations is here. Witness statements can be valuable for reconstructing like the likely sequence of events and hence the chain of causes and effects. The human factors can also be assessed when the causes of the failures is determined. There are several useful methods to prevent products failures according the first place, including failure modes and effect analysis that like the FMEA and faulty analysis method which can be used during the prototypes to analyze failure before a product is market rates. And the failure analysis engineers often plays a lead role in this the analysis of failures. Now, whether the components of products fails in service or if failures occurs in manufacturing or during the production processing. In the any cases, are most determines the causes of failures to prevent the future occurrence and or to improve the performance of the device components of or structural engineering and the mechanical engineer are very common for the jobs. The more specific measure can also get into the positions such as materials engineering, specializing in metallurgy and chemistry is always useful along with the properties and the strengths of materials. Some on could be hired for the different reasons, whether it can it be to further prevents or the liability issues is here. And thank you, students. The next class is discussed according to this failure modes and effects analysis that like is the FMEA. Okay, thank you, students.